It's official, we are getting a T-Rex Beyblade. It's been an insane couple of weeks for Beyblade news, from Takara Tomy to Hasbro, and now we have the surprise reveal of a T-Rex Bey that looks just incredible. What I'm about to show you comes straight from the Takara Tomy Beyblade X app, and I do want to give a big shout out to TwoBernie15 for taking the models and is working his magic to make everything look beautiful. So big shout out to him, link in the description down below. So let's go ahead and start with the worst Bey of the entire group. We have a pinkish purple recolor of Rhino Horn. Rhino Horn is not the best Beyblade out there. In fact, it's probably the worst blade in the entire Beyblade X lineup. But getting interesting recolors and a random booster is something I'm always going to be down for, especially when it's in a more rare color like pink or purple. I'm down to get more Beys in that color scheme. It's just not really something we see a lot of, so even if it's Rhino Horn, I'm down. And the parts for Rhino Horn are 580 for the ratchet, and then a new bit with Q. What is Q, you might ask? I'll tell you in a second. For the next Bey, we have Shark Edge, which is coming in a monochrome color scheme and a black, red, and silver aesthetic. Kind of similar to that one random booster Duran sword, but instead of red, it was blue. So I'm down for the look of this Bey. I think it looks really nice. Shark Edge is also one of my favorite X Beys to battle with. It's a ton of fun. It's kind of high risk, but high reward. So getting more copies and more color schemes is always going to be something that I am down for. And for the parts, we have 160 as the ratchet, which is pretty new. It's going to be releasing with Dran Buster here in just a few days. And for the bit, we have Q, the new bit. Once again, just wait, I'll tell you all about Q here in a second. We only have a few days left until Beyblade UX drops, and if you haven't ordered them yet, go and check out Mall of Toys. They have Hell's Hammer, Dran Buster, and Wizard Rod up for pre-order right now for a great price. These Beys look to be absolutely insane, and if you want to get some other X releases like Viper Tail or Dran Dagger, they have those as well. So go and check out Mall of Toys, link in the description down below, and make sure to use code ILLINOOK to get 5% off of your first purchase. Next up, we have a pretty nice looking Hell's Chain that's in this really nice looking blue color scheme, and the parts for it are really good as well. Remember, Hell's Chain was really only available in that Hell's Chain deck set, so now that we're getting another way to get that blade is pretty nice, especially because it's really good. I do think we get a lot of blue Beys as is, so I'm not like in love with this color scheme, but the parts here are really good as well. We have the 980 ratchet that originally came with Sphinx Cowl a few months ago, and for the bit, we have Orb. So this is a pretty decently competitive combo. If you wanted to take this Hell's Chain into a tournament, you might not do that bad. But like I said earlier, it's nice to get another printing of Hell's Chain, considering the original one is just kind of hard to get because it is in that set. And speaking of Beys that come in sets, let's take a look at the next Bey in the random booster, which is Dran Dagger. So getting both Hell's Chain and Dran Dagger in one random booster is huge. If you don't remember, Dran Dagger came out in its own deck set, just like Hell's Chain did. So getting both Hell's Chain and Dran Dagger in one random booster is really cool. The color scheme is definitely pretty interesting as well, sporting kind of an orange and blue look. It kind of reminds me of a Fanta bottle. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's a bit of an inverse from the original Dran Dagger color scheme, which I do like more. Orange just really isn't my favorite color at all. But it is nice to get another variation of Dran Dagger. It just makes it easier to get, and it just adds to the customization of Beyblade X. And for the parts, we have 470 as the ratchet, which is a new ratchet, and then we have Point as the bit. And getting Point is kind of a big deal. It's a part that is actually really good, and it's seeing a lot of competitive use. And before, it was only available on Leon Claw, and that was it. And now we're getting it in this random booster and also with the Drigger remake. So it's going to make getting that part a lot easier, and I'm down for that. But now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's stop talking about the filler Beys in the random booster and move on to the prize, which is the T-Rex Bey, which is called Tyranno Beat. Kind of an interesting name. I don't really know why it's Beat, but anyways, it's a T-Rex. it looks amazing in its red and yellow color scheme. And once again, I do want to give a big shout out to Bernie for taking the model and making it look almost photorealistic. It looks insane. Big shout out. And you can just really see the detail they put into the Tyranno Beat blade. You can kind of see the scales on the top and bottom, and it has a bit of a similar shape to Shark Edge, but not quite as upper attack. But as you can see, it is not a circular bay by any means. The shape is definitely rather oblong, which I'm hoping makes it good for attack. You can also see on the side views of the bay that it is pretty chunky. It does look like there is a lot of metal there. The underside of the blade may be a little bit hollower than you may expect, so I don't expect this release to be crazy in weight or anything, but I also don't expect it to be light. Let's go ahead and look at the parts for this bay as well. For the ratchet, we have 470, which I talked about earlier. It is a new ratchet, although it's just kind of a variation of 460 or 480, just at a bit of a different height. It's not the most exciting looking ratchet of all time. I was kind of hoping we get something a little bit more unique than just kind of small size or height changes, but it's new, so I'll take it. But easily the most interesting and I assume kind of controversial piece to this entire Beyblade is the bit, which is called Q. I'm assuming it's going to be Quake. It just makes a lot of sense, but it is not symmetrical at all. You have one side, which is kind of like an extreme flat where the gears go all the way down. And then on the other side, it's kind of like a flat bit and it's like a staircase effect. It's insane. At the very beginning of Beyblade X, we got a lot of bits that were pretty simple, pretty safe, like needle, ball, flat, and then some variations to that, like low flat and gear flat. And now with UX, we have disc ball, which is kind of getting into the odd and kind of gimmicky territory. And now we have Q, which I think is the biggest jump into the gimmick, funny bits that we've gotten so far. I don't expect it to be good at all, or maybe some people will have success with it. It's going to be kind of a gimmicky and just fun bit to use. I don't think it'll be amazing though. The color scheme for the combo is going to be kind of interesting as well. We don't really know exactly what the colors will be, although the model was in this kind of lighter blue color. Definitely kind of odd. I don't really see how that lighter blue mixes with the red and kind of goldish yellow of the blade for Tyranno Beat, but Bernie rendered it in a red color scheme, which I think looks better. I hope that's the actual look of the combo, but it probably won't be. And if by chance you don't like the red and yellow color scheme of Tyranno Beat, we are getting another color scheme in the random booster in this kind of sea foam green and yellowish look. It's kind of ugly. It's not my favorite color scheme for a bay. I would have preferred something else, but it's another way to get Tyranno Beat, I guess. It's just nowhere near as good looking as the original. And the part combination they chose for this side coloring of Tyranno Beat is also probably the worst mixture of parts in this entire random booster. For the ratchet, we have 360, which is fine. It's just kind of old and not exciting at all. And then for the bits, we have Spike, which is arguably the worst bits in all of Beyblade X. An interesting fact, that bit came with Rhino Horn, which, like I said earlier, is probably the worst blade in Beyblade X. Man, Rhino Horn really was not that good, was it? It was fun to battle with, but not that great. I am definitely looking forward to the next issue of CoroCoro, or whenever they decide to release better images, real life images of these bays, because Tyranno Beat looks insane with the scale design, the color scheme, the shape. Hopefully it's a little bit on the heavier side, so it's going to be another good attack type blade to use. But this is cool. I like this a lot. It's definitely more exciting than the Wyvern Gale random booster we got a little while ago. That bay was just kind of mid, but this looks like a real random booster prize. So what do you guys think of Tyranno Beat and the rest of this random booster? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, once again, make sure to go and give Bernie15 a follow for his work and is making these bays look beautiful. Hit that like button, hit subscribe to join the Nook Nation, and I will see you in the next one. Have fun, and bay away.